Hi, my name is Jake Kleiner, CEO of SuiteDynamics, and I'm here to take you through the basic elements of a saved search. Key aspects that you want to be aware of within NetSuite. A saved search is really a query against your NetSuite database. This is by far one of the most powerful tools within the NetSuite ERP system, and based off of permissions and/or roles, it gives you the ability to query your entire database. We can query things like transactions, customers, vendors, other things like CRM activities, maybe how many prospects have converted based off of a sales campaign. We can also look at different things like web analytics. So if we're looking to query how many people are converting through our website, through the Suite Commerce stack, we can do things like that. And we also have the ability through advanced save searches to join different types of records, different tables together, and or group them by specific types of records, such as we want to see sales by customer, by geography. This gives us a really powerful tool and again allows us to really scrub the entire NetSuite ERP system and get us data in real time, dynamically, on demand for the key aspects to our business that we want to see. To get started, to navigate to save searches, at least within the admin role, we're going to see we've got reports, save searches, and we can see all previously created save searches. In addition, we're able to then also create a new save search, and I'm just going to do so right here through the new search option. Furthermore, we can see the types of data elements or the objects that we can query against. So in my case, what we want to do is we actually want to run a save search based off of transactions. The key here being in NetSuite, any type of activity that's selling or purchasing is going to be a transaction record. So while that might not be intuitive to start, note transactions are going to be a very powerful object that we're going to query against. So in this case, when we're running a saved search, first and foremost, I'm going to select Use Advanced Search. What this gives us is more ability to customize the objects, add things like criteria, and then also define the results for our output of our search. So as an example, because we're running a saved search against the transaction type as our object, we know we're first running a query against the database, and this could be against things like sales orders, invoices, cash sales, estimates, quotes for the selling side. It can also be running against purchase orders, vendor bills, purchase contracts, just to name a few. So one thing that's important here, because we're running a very broad search, we want to understand what the type of transaction is that we're looking for. We start by going into the Standard tab, selecting the cell, and then we can either type or scroll, in this case, to select type. Again, because we're querying transactions, I actually want to select the type of transactions that I want to return. So in this case, I want to see invoices and only invoices. Let's say, however, we wanted to see invoices as well as item fulfillments. We can multi-select by holding Command or Control, depending on if you're on a Windows or Mac operating system. We can also deselect by Command or Control as well. But this gives us the ability to really filter, or rather refine the criteria that gets returned via our search. So as an example, I've selected type, I've then selected invoice, and we'll notice this now returns an invoice by default within the results. So when we actually go to run this, we're going to find we only see invoice records and nothing else. So we won't see sales orders, we won't see cash sales, we won't see returns, etc. And that's really the usefulness for this type of process within NetSuite. I'm going to create save search. We'll notice it then creates the save search for us. It pulls in the type as well as the invoice, and then next what we can do is go to the results. So within the results, think about results as the table or the columns and rows that we want to return in our saved search. So for results, it's really going to be our headers or our rows within the search that gets returned. As an example, I'm not concerned about as of date. I'm also not concerned about period. So we're able to select the results that we don't want to return and remove those. But let's say we do want to return some additional results that aren't already included in our results. A great way to do this is, again, go under the column subtab, select a new row, And then in this case, what I want to do is I want to add some additional detail. So let's say I want to return the memo, which wasn't already in my results. I've gone into the open cell. We can either start typing memo, MEM, and we'll see it brings us to that result, or we can click and then select the actual desired result. I select OK, and then by selecting this memo, we'll see we have 6 dots that actually give us the ability to drag and drop the orientation of where these invoices are being returned, as well as the results and the order in which they're returned. Next, what we're able to do is offer things such as highlighting or filtering. Highlighting is really powerful if we're going through large data sets. So let's say I want to run a search against any and all invoices, and I also then want to highlight it if we meet a specific condition. So in this case, we select the corner arrow. I'm going to select the type of result that I want to filter by, or rather highlight by, and I'm going to select memo. And I want to say if the memo is not empty, I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to say I want to highlight it with a specific color. So if the memo of our search results in results is not empty, highlight it with this color yellow. I'm next going to select preview so I can see the results, and we're going to see any and all invoices that get returned that have a memo have been highlighted in yellow. We'll notice other invoice records that were not or did not have a memo remain white and blank. So a really useful way to move through data and get the key aspects that you're looking for without having to prune in Excel or do other things. Another really useful option is we've got filters, so we can add filters. So in this case, let's say I want to add actually instead of customer, I'm going to add a name. Or actually, let's do a date. So I want to use date as a filter. I'm going to check the box to show it in the filter region. I can give it a label if I like, so I'm going to do date filter, which is going to allow us to modify the view of the search, and then I'm going to preview this once more. We'll now see I've got this date filter automatically incorporated in my filters. I can select on all, and as an example, let's say I only want to see this month to date. I can select month, select this month to date. We'll see that our search is rerunning, and then we can actually see by default the results that fit the date criteria, as well as the highlighting that's been accomplished if and when a memo exists. We hope this Save Search deep dive and initial tutorial has been helpful. If you're struggling with Save Searches or reporting in your NetSuite instance, don't hesitate to give us a call. Alternatively, you can reach out to us at info@suitedynamics.io. Thanks and have a great day.